Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy is meeting with US President Donald Trump today and will be accompanied by several European leaders as a sign that Ukraine's security cannot be treated separately from that of Europe. Hi, this is the first part of our latest Ukraine update. We're now a few days past the Anchorage meeting and only a few hours away from Zelenskyy's next encounter with Trump, and the sentiment around this meeting feels closer to the February Oval Office visit than to the more ceremonial catch-up in the Vatican City. From the US side, Anchorage did not produce concrete progress. No deal was finalized, and no framework for ceasefire negotiations was established. Ceasefire being the key point. For Ukraine and European partners, a ceasefire is viewed as a precondition, a necessary step before negotiations can begin. For Russia, however, a ceasefire is presented as a concession, to be granted only in return for something else. At Anchorage, President Trump appeared to align more closely with Russia's position, and in doing so bypassed Ukraine's demand, while at the same time imposing no additional costs on Russia. No new sanctions were introduced and no commitment was made to hold a trilateral meeting between Trump, Zelensky, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ultimately, the perception is that only Russia walked away with progress. First, neither pressure nor punishment for continuing the war. Secondly, according to reporters, Putin's version of the deal demands Ukraine to cede the entire Donbas in exchange for stopping the war. Alternatively, Putin would accept that the current front lines could be frozen, with Ukraine maintaining control of portions of 3 of the 5 regions that Russia claimed to have annexed, if the root causes are addressed. This is the confirmation that Russia's military goals are only subordinate and functional to its foreign policy goals, which ultimately wants to see Ukraine demilitarized and non-aligned. In this context, territorial concessions or land swaps alone, if ever agreed, are unlikely to provide a lasting solution if Ukraine remains aligned with the West and is protected by the West. And even if some form of security guarantees is agreed, this would still require the US to be determined and its deterrent credible in the long term. Or it may just be a matter of time before Russia tests the West's cohesion again, be it in Ukraine or elsewhere in Europe.